Okay, here's an example of a statement of the claims. This is for federal court to defeat the 12B6 motion to dismiss that they almost always use on you when you go in there and try to file a lawsuit in federal court. The first thing the attorneys will do is file a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim. Okay, and there's some elements, and it took us a while to learn how to do this, but now if you start filing this format, you have this all done. There's a few other tricks, but I'm just going to show you one of the things you have to do to stop this. Okay, there's several other things, but today it's going to be statement of the claim, and this is an example. Okay, so here we got this state. This is a big 1,200-page criminal claim that I did, and but I want to go to the part here when you go into federal court. So, statement of the claims. Now then, I blacked out to propound his testimony, his or her witness. You're always going to be a witness, and you're always going to be a claimant. Okay, you don't want to make a complaint. Don't use the word complaint. Use the word claim or claims. Okay, it's a lot stronger. Complaint. Women and children complain. Okay, men, and I'm not dogging the women. I'm just telling you, don't use the word complaint. That's their terminology. Okay, don't use the word petition. You want to use the word claim. You make a claim, so and you're always a witness. Okay, sufficient testimony for the statement of the claims in the form of an affidavit, sworn verification, and you could do your own verification. So you put your name here, and I, a man or woman, as the relator claimant witness. Okay, I'm relating this to the United States of America. Okay, so this is what I'm labeling here. Relator claimant witness with my own unlimited commercial liability who forswears against all foreign agents. Okay, look this word up, forswears. You want to forswear against these attorneys and judges. Okay, because then you can go after them for perjury of oath. All foreign agents. Okay, and the reason I put that in there, you could try the Foreign Agent Act against someone and other things. And while challenging standing at all times to and against adverse parties, claimants, third parties, appearances, representations, attorneys, foreign agents, etc. Okay, I put that in there because you're going to have an attorney attach themselves and you're going to challenge these guys. And we'll do some videos on that later. I have some really good stuff on depositions, how to attack these attorneys. Okay, these attorneys don't have the proper oath of office, and they don't have a license. Okay, so they're foreign agents, and there's one guy, Rob Ryder. You could take a look at his stuff. I consider him one of the best guys out there. It's Rob Ryder. Go check his channel out. This guy, he's a smart dude, and you can learn a lot of stuff from him if you pay attention. Okay. He's really good on these oath of office, and he was ex-military, and they don't have the oath of office. So you can take a look at that. So you put that for proof their claim disclosures adverse to title do affirm that the following testimony in the form of an affidavit under my biometric seal by my belief and knowledge is true, correct, and complete, and not misleading the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, with clean hands, intending to protect rights others by this criminal claims referral statement of the claims. Okay, and this could be for whatever, but in this case, concerning the former operations, operators, officers, fiduciaries, members, manager, Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. Okay, the following intend the truth while reserving the right to stop and correct mistakes. Okay, then I'll verify it, and you put your stamp on there. That's your biometric seal. That's just like a notary. Okay, that's why we do that. The notaries require a seal. That's your biometric seal, so it's verified. And then you got the United States of America. Okay, you want to be from the United States of America, not the United States relator, claim, or witness. Okay, the other thing you're going to do on all your papers, copyright, copy, claim, everything. Always on the bottom, and there's a reason for it, and I've used this against attorneys, and I've tapped them out because they tried to use my papers, and I sued them for it, and then they got gone. Attorney generals, deputy attorney general. And then you want to be the author because then they're going to try to interpret your paperwork. No, you're not going to interpret it. I'm the author. Okay, so that's why you do that. Start doing this in all your papers on the bottom of everything. Okay, statements. Now there's there's going to be 7 elements. Let's go through the statements. Your affiant testimony, your name here. 1, your affiant testifies and makes these claims by his signature, verification, biometric seal, thumbprint. 2, your affiant makes his testimony in on the state and the county, whatever date, now location. Your affiant testifies. It provides the 4 elements that gives jurisdiction to the court or appropriate officer to act. A, who is injured. B, who is identified that has breached a duty. C, what are the laws, codes, or violations that resulted in damages of the claimant or victims as fact. D, the factual sufficiency of the claims, that only a witness can testify about authenticated evidence and subject to cross-examination. Okay, so A, this will be your name, whoever's making the statement of claim. I, a man, and as a relator, claim, or witness, lien victim. Okay, and then B, who did it? You're going to put in whoever's you're making the statement against here, who breached fiduciary duties. C, witnessing. Now, suggested research, because this is all their codes. Okay, I'm telling them what they're doing in the United States, and I'm suggesting that this is what I looked up to your codes, and I name them here. And there's all these things: swindling, obtaining money under false pretenses, criminal conspiracy. You put whatever you want in there. That's your suggested research, but it's up to them to do it. It's up to the public officials or fiduciaries to charge with whatever here. Okay, D, your affiant now testifies that he will state the factual testimony of claims 1 through 7, statement of the claims, facts against whoever you're doing it against, by the following claim sets 1 through 7, including relator conclusion, verification, and in this case, exhibits 1 through 33, method of process, that's the service on them, and additional notice of parties. Okay, so you're written, and then again, copyright, you're going to have the same ticker line on the bottom, and you're an author. Claim set, so this is where the real statement is. And so if they try to do a 12B6 motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim, no, this is how you make a claim. And you can do your research on it. There's 7 elements to it. And you can look up Richard Cornforth. He's an older guy, and I've studied and have all his material, and that's where I got this from, studying his material. Okay, and you don't see him much anymore. He's pretty much retired, but he's they say he's one of the all-time best pro ses out there doing this stuff. And I have all his material, and I've had it for like 20 years. But anyways, the sets 1 through 7. Okay, the questions are who did what. Okay, that's the first one. Then you go down here and tell about. In this case, have breached fiduciary trust and the previous ongoing unlawful operations, movements, concealments with co-actors, attorneys in concert to extort lien, beneficial interests, property assets, and title of property owners and members of this Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association. And I say C, suggested research above violation C. See, right here. Whoop. So you got it, C right here, and I'm telling about all their crimes. This happens to be in Nevada. I have an ongoing case going on here. This is going to be a big one. So stand by and I will be showing what we're doing in there. I've been working on this one for 3 years. So 2, where did it happen? You're going to put it in here. I'm saying on the United States of America. And it property commonly known as, and this is my property here. Okay. And you'll also see I've already staked a federal land patent claim. Okay. And I've studied all the land patent. I've taken classes from Ron Gibson and Bob Schaefer. He's dead now, but it's all been published in the Reno Gazette. Okay, when did it happen? So you're going to tell what had happened here. How was it done? You can tell how it was done. See, these are the main questions. That's why you write them in here. What laws were violated? Back to these same ones that were in C. Put that in there. Okay, go down. Who is the trust? Who is the victim? And that would be me, right here. Okay, and then 7, what are the causes of claims and laws to be violated? Okay, so C, exhibits 1 through 33 is damage claim and charge to be determined, advised, related, settled, ex rel proxy by the fiduciary officer, agent, jurors, and insurers after all evidence inquiries are entered and or further testimony is given, Exhibits 1 through 33. And I'm currently testifying this and calling out the district attorney over there. So that's going on now. I'm up to like 12 exhibits so far, calling the district attorney out and publishing it. So that goes down. Then you go down. Then it's I, your client, testified he met the plausibility sufficiency of stating a claim by the elements on record 1 through 7 referred against the people that are making the claim. And now it's up to the fiduciary trustees officers to act accordingly by their public duties and public trust to settle, insure, deny, or charge claims to the referred. And you put it in there. 5, testifies that for the investigation by the duty of the insurer guarantors who are required to protect, disclose, investigate, and identify the individual's facts above by Exhibits 1 through 33, partial evidence in support of claims and placement, delivery, and notice to this relator, claimant, witness, victim of their duty and trust, fiduciary good faith corrections or settlements, and further testimony, explanations of each exhibits to be determined. 6, I, your client, testifies that he made these claims freely and believes them. 7, I, your client, testified that these claims are true, complete, not misleading, by the best of my knowledge, beliefs, information. 8, I, your client, testifies that and has personal first-hand knowledge all the facts, claims, reasonable reliances, plausibility which are stated herein, including the known books and records possession of Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association and Exhibits 1 through 33, partial evidence in support of claims. So this is 47 pages, and I've only shown you 4, but I wanted to show you what you need to do to state a proper way to state a claim, and it's done by these 7 things. Who did what? Where did it happen? When did it happen? How was it done? What laws were violated? Who is the victim? What are the cause of claims as to the laws violated? Okay, so you want to stick with that, and that's how you state a claim, and so that will get you through that 12B6, okay, which everyone keeps failing on, okay, and there's some other things in here, but this is just a little thing to show you, and I'll keep doing it, and we're going to have some other people talking on this channel, and we're going to all try to learn, and I'm not saying else, you can modify this, whatever, but you need to understand why you're being defeated on those 12B6 motion dismiss. And those are always done in federal court. So stand by. We'll keep working on this. I just wanted to give you a little taster of this.